Hi, my name is Chris Bakke. I'm a high school math teacher at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Early College, and I'm with Tripp, also a high school math teacher at Manual High School, both in Denver, Colorado. Today in my Algebra 2 class, I taught the final, most advanced factoring strategy with our favorite unit, quadratics, looks like number 4 down here, where you're not able to actually pull out a common factor, and so it just requires a more complex strategy to make sure that you're breaking it down.
What was the most surprising moment of the lesson, Chris? What were you thinking about during that surprising moment?
I'd say the most surprising moment was sort of the traps that they fell in that I tried to lay. And number 2, 3, and 4, they all start with the number 3. Number 2 and 3, we've been working for months, and they've been doing this since their freshman year. Their gut instinct should be look for that common 3, look for that common 3. So for number 4, there's also a common 3. But in this case, you can't actually pull that out, so it makes it more complicated. They struggled with number 2 more than any other question, and that should be the easiest question out of these 4, and they were able to tackle number 4 no problem. So when I was doing my checks for understanding on the number 2 with this Kahoot website, it was shocking to see how many made the same sort of common mistake when this one, all you had to do was take out a common factor and you were done, where all the other problems required much more analysis and different strategies.
What decision did you have to make during the lesson? What did you ask yourself as you evaluated your options?
So I had to ask myself, do I move on and continue with my lesson I had planned around factoring by grouping and bringing it to some different applications and different levels of rigor? Or do I stop and make sure I address that number 2 style question? I decided that just in general, quadratics are so foundational, and this common factor problem where that's all you have to do shows up year after year in every math class they're going to see after mine. I decided I needed to pause and make sure that they really were able to go into, that they could tackle that. So I did this modified sort of knowledge bomb, which is just competitive flashcards. They pull out one of these cards that I have cut up in a cup with hints and an answer key on the back, and they're forced to have a discussion around what they did, why they chose it, and I thought it was an important enough discussion to pause in our lesson before moving on with the actual Algebra 2 level of rigor.
How else have you taught this lesson in the past, and what made you change your approach?
In the past, when students maybe struggled like this, I would really try and do a targeted mini lesson, just on the different types, really try and organize their thinking, then mix them back up. But I still found that wasn't necessarily helping all kids master how to organize their thinking. So this year I brought in a huge graphical visual approach, taught them how to use Desmos, this online graphing calculator, to check all of their work, and that really seemed to help.
Thanks, Chris.